I am 130 days away from running my first ever marathon in Kaua'i, Hawaii. I am 130 days away from running my first ever marathon, the Kaua'i Marathon in Kaua'i, Hawaii. And I'm in the worst shape I've ever been in. Physically, financially, mentally, everything. But over the last few weeks, months, I've been getting really inspired by a few different people. Three to be exact. Linda's son. She's just got such a freaking positive vibe about her. I think the guy's name is Jeremy Miller. He is doing crazy stuff. He did the He did the 75 hard with doing an ice bath every day. He went and did a marathon, he's done marathons before. He did an Ironman, or a half Ironman, and now he's doing an Ironman, and he's training for it. And he just did a day where he had to do like 10,000 yards in the pool, and just doing crazy, super high endurance stuff where we really got to be freaking mentally locked in. And then most recently, Michelle Carr, sorry, I'm so butchering that. But she's posting her 7 marathons in 7 days in 7 continents. And I've watched the first 3 marathons, and I tell you, man, it is so amazing to see all the people that are doing well there. It is crazy to see how much hate she was getting for just trying to do difficult things. I heard one of the people say, the pain is temporary, but the regret lasts a lifetime. And it's true. Like, stuff like that is going to be painful. Stuff like that is going to be tough. It's going to be difficult. But if you just don't do difficult things because they're difficult, you're going to spend your life having a lot of regret of what you could have done, what you feel like you have the skill, the will, the power to actually do, but you didn't just because you got scared, just because you were nervous, just because you felt like it would be difficult. And I've lived a lot of my life like that. And we have so much more control over our lives than we give ourselves credit for. And I truly want to push myself. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about where I'm starting from. So my name is Derek, name on the channel, whatever. I've been a personal trainer since 2013. I've been in fitness and helping people get in shape and everything like that. I've never been in like over the top amazing shape or anything. I've never had, rested abs. I've always had it to where if I flex, you can see them, but I've never been so lean where it's just there. But I've always been in shape as far as performance-wise. I've always been able to do a lot with my body, with however I wanted to do anything. So if I wanted to go and run, I could, even though I've always hated running and I've never been great at it. I can still do it. I can still knock out like a 9-10 minute mile, and it wasn't crazy difficult. I could go play basketball for hours. I was always very strong. My heaviest lifts, if I remember correctly, my heaviest squat and deadlift were both 455. My heaviest bench press was, I think, 245 or 255. My heaviest snatch, I think, was just over 200, like maybe 215. And then my heaviest clean and jerk was 245, but the heaviest clean that I've ever had was 305. So I've always been decently strong. But over the years, I just let myself go, man. And I just stopped putting in that much effort. Tough times made things, crazy difficult to stay in tune with my fitness. Pandemic happened. All of a sudden, I'm not in the gym as often as I was. I got into screen printing. I started making some stuff. Started a screen printing business, did well, moved out. And then had that business go sideways. Pivoted, stayed in my apartment, got into an accident, had to move back with my folks. Have gone through easily the worst mental states that I've ever been in, and have just not kept up. Haven't put in the effort, haven't wanted to put in the effort a lot of times. Haven't had anything that I wanted to do as far as like a challenge, nothing I wanted to push for. I wanted to move out. That's it. I wanted to have a place of my own and all that, and that's consumed every part of my life. So we're switching it up a little bit. Obviously, that's still a goal, but right now the goal is to do something difficult, to train for something which I've always loved. I always loved going out and training for basketball, training for CrossFit, whatever it ended up being, and I haven't had that the last few years. And so we're going to do that. The Kaua'i Marathon in Kaua'i, Hawaii. We are going to go. That is going to be on September 6th. Oh, that's right. I was going to tell you. I am currently 230. Well, technically, as of this morning, I'm 229. Last time I checked my weight on my scale, I was 213. So I've gained like 15 pounds. I may be wrong on that, but all my stats look horrible. And within like 5 months, I've gained 15 to 20 pounds. And it's just gotten worse and worse. Like right now, it's showing that I'm sitting at 34% body fat. My VO2 max is terrible, like very, very low. Which just means that during exercise, I'm not getting a ton of oxygen into my blood. My resting heart rate is very high. I think it's in the 80s or 90s. Whereas if I remember right, I think my VO2 max is like in the 40s. I think it's HRV, heart rate variability, or something like that. That is also very bad. All my stats, all the stats that you look at to see not only how fit is someone, but how just healthy they are, they're all bad. They're all terrible. So what I'm doing is I weighed myself and found out my body fat percentage. It's not 100% accurate, but it's a measure that I can use to measure against that same thing again. So right now it's showing 34%, showing 229 pounds, and a bunch of other stats. I got that locked in. I am not going to check my body fat percentage, my weight. I'm going to do a circumference measurement when I get home. I'm not going to do another one of those again until the day before I leave. Sorry, the day after I get back from this challenge. And I want to see. I'm not going to check any of this. I'm going to focus just on performance, and I'm not going to focus on food. I'm not going to focus on fuel or anything like that. Literally, it's just going to be on making sure I'm getting in the runs. I may increase my protein just so that I'm recovering correctly, but aside from that, it's just focusing on the actual outcomes, the actual, runs and the cardio and the strength training still, because I am going to keep up my strength training. I am not going to have a coach. I'm not going to be following the Runner app or anything like that. I use Strava, and I'll still use Strava throughout the whole thing, just because I'm also trying not to spend money. A big challenge of this challenge is the amount of time that I'm not going to have to do these runs, and the amount of money that I'm going to have to save in order to even do this. The deadline to be able to sign up for this is going to be September 2nd. So it's 126 days away. So I have until then to be able to sign up for this marathon. And I would like to sign up before that, but in order to make things feasible, I need to be making $20 extra a day on top of the regular bills that I need to make money for. $20 extra a day to be able to put to the side so that I can afford this marathon, because all in all it's probably going to cost like $1,500 to $2,000. $1,500 to $2,000 and I have nothing right now, man. Like, I literally just put my last $9 in my gas tank so that I can go and pick up my dad from a show that he's doing, drive back home, and then I'll be going out driving tonight to make some money doing Instacart, you know? So I literally have nothing. So $20 a day. If I consistently do that, I should have $2,600 to be able to pay for everything. So that's the actual event, insurance on the event, if they have that, flight insurance, the flight, hotels, car rental and or Uber, food while I'm out there, any kind of stuff that I need to buy for this event, everything. And it's gonna help just to be able to, I'll be going to Hawaii, man. I'll be going to Hawaii. So I'm gonna wanna have some money to be able to spend. And so it'll help just have money for all of that. 2,600 even, I wish it could be more, but I think that's the most I could realistically do. And so I'm gonna have to make sure that no matter how difficult things get, as far as finances, no matter how tight we are on money, the 20 that I make extra every day, I cannot touch. Otherwise, this is not gonna happen no matter what. So I have to make sure that I don't touch that money at all. And then yeah, it's gonna be tight, man. It really is. So we will see. I'm excited for it though, man. Like I really do think it's gonna be a good challenge for me. Obviously, running a marathon is difficult. The only other time I've done a really, really long distance, like I've done some 5Ks, I've had some hour-long runs and everything like that. The longest distance I've ever run was, I think, a little over a year ago. I randomly decided, hey, I'm gonna do a few challenges for the rest of this year. So this is last year, actually. And the first challenge that I wanted to do was I wanted to take 3 months prep for a marathon. I'm not a runner. I'm not a runner at all. Running is, excuse me, running is difficult for me. And I've just always hated it. But it was making me so nervous just thinking about this run that it was kind of getting on my nerves. It was kind of ticking me off a little bit. It was making me upset. And so I was like, I'm not going to wait 3 months and have this held over my head for 3 months. I don't care if I'm not ready for this. I don't care if I'm not in shape. I don't care about none of that. I'm doing the run tomorrow. And so that's what the plan was. I spent the whole day, made sure I ate well, still did all the stuff that I need to do. And then at about 4 o'clock, because it got dark around 8, I left. I knew that my last mile time was around 13, 14 minutes. Like I said, I'm not a good runner. 13, 14 minutes was my last mile time. So I was like, okay, if we say that I'm gonna slow down, which I will, that means that if I say conservatively 20 minutes per mile, I should be able to knock this marathon out in about 4 hours. I ended up doing about 16 miles per hour, a little over 16 miles an hour. I finished the marathon in not 13 hours, wow. In 3 hours, 40 minutes, 50 seconds. It's horrible for a half marathon. Half marathon, I may have been saying marathon. Half marathon. That's horrible for that time, 13.1 miles. That's very, very bad. Compared to what people can do, not what the elite can do, but just what average people can do, almost 4 hours for a half marathon, for me, is bad. For me, I don't like that. So my goal for this marathon, for this full marathon, is gonna be sub 4 hours. That means basically being out there the same amount of time as I was out there for the half, but running twice as fast. Ooh. Running twice as fast. It's gonna be difficult, man. That's gonna be a challenge, and I'm excited for it. So the training plan starts today. Like I said, I'm not gonna go on Strava or Runner and have them create a plan. I like to do things myself, especially as a person who's been a personal trainer, has helped people with a bunch of different goals and tasks and all kinds of stuff. I feel like I have enough knowledge to be able to look at a couple other people's plans and figure it out. and I'm trying to make sure I save my money. So even though it's just 20, 30 bucks or whatever it is per month, I'd rather not spend that. I'd rather be able to have that extra, 80 to 120 bucks to be able to do something else. Now, I might end up getting Whoop again, which is counter to what I just said. But it's kind of also why I'm thinking that. When I had Whoop, I was able to look at all my stats every single day and figure out everything. So I would like to see the recovery stuff. I would like it to tell me how well I'm doing with, my HRV. It's probably the only stat that I'll actually look at on a day-to-day basis. So I would like to see how all this stuff is doing. And I want to be able to just keep track of it. That'll be the only thing that I have as a monthly subscription for running. It'll just be Whoop. And it's more than the Run app, but if I had to choose one or the other, I would rather have Whoop than the Run app. I'll probably end up getting it later on anyway, and if I start making more money before this event, I'll probably get it. But for right now, I think I can create my own plan of 4 days on, 3 days off. I'm actually thinking it'd probably be better for me to do 5 days on, 2 days of full or light rest. But yeah, it's gonna be very, very difficult, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it, honestly. I'm excited to see Michelle Carr's, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, I could be wrong. I'm excited to see her last video and her doing these last 2 races and then getting to Miami and being able to finish it and all that. I'm excited to see that. So it's given me a lot of motivation, along with Jeremy Miller and Linda Sun. All 3 of them have given me a ton of motivation to actually get this done. And honestly, it's just time for me to do something. So you are going to see a ton of, probably not the actual runs, but probably the aftermath of the runs on this channel. So on YouTube, on my Instagram, on my TikTok. You'll hear me talk a lot about it on Threads. Go check out any of those places. Just Derrick Kaua'i, DRRICK-KOA. You'll see it on the username on this channel. You'll see it everywhere else as well. So if you want to give me motivation, tell me I'm stupid, ask for advice as far as just regular fitness training, whatever, because I am going to be posting not only about this, but just I love helping people. So I love being able to learn stuff of my own and then help people get to the places that I've gotten to, or get to places that I can't get to, So I'll be giving any advice that I find about starting a running program, about whether you should make your own plan or whether you should hire somebody or just get something through the Run app. I'm going to be making videos on all of that because I want to be able to help people. As I am getting inspiration from other people, I want to be able to help other people as well. So if you want to see any of that, if you want to just follow along my journey, even if you want to just laugh and joke, because at some point I just sold my computer, show you how bad my finances are. At some point I want to get a computer again, a PC, and be able to actually do some gaming videos and everything like that. So whatever it is that you want to follow my channel for, I appreciate it. I will see you for day 129 days out. See ya.